Okay, today we are interviewing Juan Escalera. He's a compadre who is on the Scribes of Strength team with me. He's also winner of this year's Scott Davis Award. Um, we're really proud of him and all of the work that he does in the ALS community. So I'm really, really grateful that I have this time to interview him. And I'm really grateful that he submitted his artwork for this Artistry of ALS. I'm going to get right into our first question. Juan, if you can tell us, were you an artist before you were diagnosed with ALS, or is this a newfound skill for you?
I've been immersed in the world of art since childhood. From an early age, I found creative expression to be a powerful way to convey emotion, tell stories, and explore the world around me. Over the years, my artistic journey has evolved, leading me to develop unique styles and techniques that reflect both my personal experiences and my commitment to meaningful storytelling.
I've seen that both in the artwork that you're submitting on social media and all of the work that you've done um, with the Scribes team. I am amazed at how prolific you are and how much work you've actually put out there in such a short period of time. I'm pretty amazed at that. I can't work at that pace myself personally. So kudos to you. How long have you been living with ALS?
I have been living with ALS for a little over 10 years. Throughout this journey, I have embraced both the challenges and the resilience that come with it, using my experiences to fuel my advocacy and artistic expression. ALS has shaped not only my perspective, but also my dedication to creating meaningful art that speaks to perseverance, identity, and community.
Given that your perspective has shifted quite a bit, can you tell us a little bit about how your artistry has changed or evolved since your diagnosis?
ALS has completely transformed the way I create artwork. Due to the complexity of most art programs, I had to adapt and transition into digital art. While this shift has opened new creative possibilities, it also presents unique challenges. Unlike traditional art, where mistakes can be quickly corrected, digital work requires meticulous planning. Some errors can't be easily undone, and at times, starting over is the only option. This level of precision makes my digital pieces even more complex, requiring patience, strategy, and a deep understanding of the tools at hand.
I can see how that is true. I started working with Canva a couple of years ago, just briefly on a project, and thought, oh, this is too complex. I can't do all this. Now that I've had time to reframe my thoughts about Canva, that is now my primary tool. There is so much that can be done in bulk. You just have to plan it out, as opposed to going page by page by page. You let the tool do the work for you, and you have to understand how that tool works. So I can appreciate what you mean by that. So talk to us about something you're passionate about.
My passion lies in serving my community. ALS takes so much from a person, stripping away independence and making everyday life far more challenging. At my lowest, I felt like I had lost my sense of purpose. For years, I was adrift until I found I Am ALS. Through this community, I regained hope and discovered a renewed drive to help others navigate their own journeys. My passion became advocating for fellow pals, ensuring they feel seen, supported, and empowered. No one should have to face this alone, and I am committed to standing alongside those who need guidance and encouragement.
Share that passion, my friend. I threw myself headlong into advocacy shortly after Larry died. I didn't have a lot of time for it while he was with us. Our journey was really quick and he required all of my attention. But um, throwing myself into IMALS, which is an organization that I know is doing work on the ground to change healthcare policies and economic policies to help our community. Um, it's also a group of people who know exactly what I went through and what we went through. And I feel the same exact way. Nobody should have to walk this journey alone. And as long as I'm living, I'm going to be here to walk beside people. So I commend you for that. And I'm grateful that you are here fighting this fight with me, sir. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to pull up some of your artwork so that we can, and we'll talk about some of that. Okay. So I need you to, for my sensibilities on this image right here, I need you to tell me what word this is. It's like, figure it out. It's a tag name that I used to do my graffiti, my real tag flavor. My friends in high school changed it. The only flavor it translates to is Flavener. Well, okay, that explains a lot. I was thinking that it was Flavener. I didn't know what it meant, but it's really cool. And every time I look at this, I love the 3D quality of it. It looks like you printed it out on a 3D printer and then took a picture of it almost. It's a really cool piece of art. This is one of the favorite ones I have of you. It just reminds me of two lovers embracing one another. I love this picture. Um, this one looks otherworldly. We don't have two moons, we only have the one, but I love all the colors and it reminds me very much of something sci-fi. Your flowers are beautiful. I love the nameplate that you made for me. Um, and I love this one too. I'm hoping you decide that we keep this one in the show. This galaxy flower is pretty neat. And this one, it's a little more graphic than your other stuff. Your other pieces are a little more, I don't want to say reality based, but it is more realist. I mean, and none of it is real, but I'm not quite sure how to explain this style. But this one's more graphic. And this one, I look at this and I think how we're all in it together. You know, we pull the people up behind us once we make it up the hill. Nobody's going to get left behind, and that's what I think of when I look at this picture. And another one that's really very graphic. This looks like it should be printed on a t-shirt. Almost like a woodcut and an ink print. I really like it. ALS Warriors. Looks like we're ready to play basketball on this one. This one, very patriotic. Red, white, and blue. And this is really pretty. I like the bubbles and the water effects and all of that. This one struck me too. This one's really neat. Sand art explosion. Cool. It does look like an explosion for sure. And then in the paint explosion. This one almost looks like it should be, it almost looks like a chair gone haywire to me. You know, a plastic chair and a bunch of plastic chairs that all just kind of got mixed up together in a crisper or something. 3D printer newbie, 100%. Yep, that's what it looks like. Another paint splatter, dimensional burst. Jackson Pollock time. It looks like a paint explosion, not like it got dribbled on there. It looks like it's bursting out of the center of this painting. Okay, this one really intrigues me. If you can tell me the idea behind this piece, it's very complex. I get how it's still a dimensional burst, but I'm interested to know about the idea behind this one. This one is almost Art Deco in its quality, while still having that burst effect.
Dimensional Burst Anniversary Tribute was a piece I created as a gift for my friends Juan and Meg Reyes. I wanted to craft something truly one of a kind, something that reflected the energy and depth of my Dimensional Burst style. After days of experimentation, I finally completed it, though I realized it carried more chaotic energy than I initially envisioned for an anniversary gift. This dimensional burst stands apart as one of only two pieces I created using objects rather than paint explosions, giving it a unique presence within my body of work. In the end, I created something different for them, another singular piece made exclusively for them. I even deleted the picture, ensuring that they are the only ones who have it, making their artwork an irreplaceable and deeply personal gift.
It is beautiful. As I look at this, there are architectural elements in there, there are celestial elements in there, there's energy in there, and a lot of movement. And I really love what you did with this one. Um, it's truly an amazing piece. Thanks for sharing it with us. Okay, this one is Dream Lake. And obviously it's idyllic. It's got all those beautiful colors. It's very vibrant. It does look like something out of a dream. Full of life. I really like this one. But this one, which is called Family Lake, stood out even more to me. I can see what you mean by the family lake. This is like the lakeside cabin that you would go to, and there's the swing that you push your kids on, and the tree that's got the heart. Tell me about this. I'm struck by, even though you can feel that a family should be there, there are no people in this frame. I'm wondering where they are.
Family Lake is a deeply personal painting I created for my wife and daughter. While I initially incorporated our names into the tree, I later removed them, ensuring that the only true version exists on my daughter's wall. This piece is more than just a painting. It's a reflection of love, memory, and connection. Most of my artwork does not include people, allowing viewers to step into the scene and immerse themselves in the emotions and atmosphere. Family Lake embodies that idea, inviting others to find their own meaning within its tranquil setting while holding its deepest significance within my own family. Creating digital artwork that includes people is extremely difficult. By the time you get a figure to look close to what you envision, the background often loses its intended depth and detail. Digital art creation comes with its limitations, and while I have found a way to create more accurate work, the process takes a significant amount of time. This challenge is amplified by the limitations of eye gaze technology, requiring even more precision and patience to bring each piece to life.
I can see that. I've experimented with generating images myself, and I know a lot of it has to do with the input that you put in there as to what you get out, but it's also sometimes a catch-22, and making those changes or making those suggestions to alter it ends up nowhere near what it is that I want to convey. So I can appreciate how difficult it is to make this happen. And I certainly can grasp the concept of others being able to place themselves in this piece of art. Like I mentioned, it's very obvious that this is a family space, and it's full of love. I was just wondering where everybody was, so thanks for explaining that for me. Yet another galaxy burst. This reminds me of Star Wars when they would go to warp speed. And I like the IMALS, the ice cream dripping kind of cloud picture. That's pretty cool. Here's another beautiful beach scene, gorgeous sunset. Although we don't have dark beaches, our water is that color. I live 10 minutes from the beach in the northwest panhandle of Florida, and I almost never go. I'm always working. Is this Mets like the New York Mets? Figured their colors. It's pretty cool. You a Mets fan? Go Mets. I get the splat. And this is a similar piece to that other orchid that you did, but you like this one better, huh? This one almost looks like frosting. Should be on top of a cupcake. Powder burst. All right. This one. This is one of the only ones where there's a person in the frame. Tell me about her. I think it's a her. Could be a him. Long hair. Oh, your mom was from Palm Bay. So is that your mom?
PR is a painting inspired by one of my childhood memories. Every summer, my mother would send me to Puerto Rico, where I spent unforgettable moments surrounded by family and the island's beauty. The girl in the painting is my cousin, and this is exactly how we would find her sometimes, lost in her own little world, when it was time to bring her home for dinner. This piece captures more than just a scene. It reflects the warmth and nostalgia of those summers, the simplicity of childhood, and the deep bonds of family.
Yeah, you've brought me right back to my childhood on military bases where we would, in the summer, be out until 10, 11 o'clock at night playing and not have to come in. It was perfectly safe. Our parents knew we were, not going to get in any trouble, and we didn't get into major trouble. We had good trouble. We had a lot of fun. This does remind me of a warm late summer night. So yeah, that's beautiful. And the spiral burst. Taffy. We used to go on a lot of road trips, and every time we would stop, our parents would let us buy taffy, but we didn't like taffy. At least I didn't like taffy. I think this is your last picture. Yeah, that's the last one. So, of all of the pieces that you submitted, Juan, which one is your favorite and why?
I don't tend to have favorites when creating artwork. Some artists do, but I feel that choosing favorites can lead to getting stuck in just one or two styles. By keeping myself open to exploring different artistic approaches, I allow creativity to flow freely without limitations. However, there is one piece that has always stayed with me, a painting of a rose I created for my mother. That painting holds a special place in my heart, perhaps because it was stolen, leaving me without a sense of closure. While I've created countless pieces since, none can truly replace that one. Recently, I revisited that painting and recreated it as my chiaroscuro rose. This new piece carries the same emotional weight and significance, serving as a tribute to my mother's memory. Though nothing can fully replace the original, this version allows me to reconnect with that moment and honor the love that inspired it.
One of the roses that we have in here in this show. I'm trying to pull it back up again. Is it this one? I just noticed for the first time all of the people and all of the paintbrushes around it. I didn't notice that before. It was just focused on the rose itself. All right. This is the what is your favorite memory question. So Juan, what's your favorite memory around creating art, either by yourself or with others?
One of my most cherished memories is spending time with my Aunt Iris, who taught me how to color at a very young age. Her approach to coloring was unique. She never settled for a single shade. Instead, she would select 5 colored pencils, either in similar tones or in unexpected combinations, and carefully outline her subject before layering different shades inside. She introduced me to polychrome coloring, a technique that would shape my artistic journey. By the time I was in school, my ability to blend colors set me apart. While most kids were thrilled to have a box of 20 Crayola crayons, I had access to hundreds of colors, all thanks to my aunt's influence. She gave me a priceless gift, one that continues to live on in my work. Whenever I use polychrome in my artwork, it's a tribute to her memory, ensuring that her creative spirit remains a part of everything I create.
That's beautiful. I remember I'm not an artist, and I can remember going from the let me shade in the color, the single color in the picture, to let me color it darkly in the picture, to let me mix a little shade and a little darker, but never mixing different colors. So I think that's amazing that she taught you that. She was apparently an artist as well. It's great to have a teacher like that and a mentor. What form of art speaks to you the most? I know that you're pretty much digital right now, but what form speaks to you the most?
This is a tough question because when you truly appreciate art, you find joy in many different styles. However, if I had to choose, I would lean toward Impressionism. A significant portion of my work falls under this branch, capturing its emphasis on atmosphere, emotion, and movement. When you have the ability to work across multiple styles, they tend to blend together, allowing you to appreciate and create with even greater depth.
Not being an artist, I can certainly appreciate Impressionism. Um, and I've enjoyed the shows for Monet and the traveling shows that you go to where you get completely immersed in the art and everything. But honestly, I think I'm probably really impressed with the realists because of all of the detail and how they can make something look incredibly real. I have a number of pieces that are like this. Um, but then also when I went to the National Gallery in Washington, D.C. just recently, I found myself attracted to, in the Dutch Masters wing, there were, and I can't tell you the name of the artist right off the top of my head. I took a picture of it in my phone, but I'm not going to pull it up right now. But one of the Dutch Masters painted what was just a simple picture of people going out and skating on the ice. There were a series of pictures that were painted by him, and I swear they looked like they were backlit. The titanium white that they used and the colors and the pigments that they used, the light just jumped off of the page, and I went up to it and I saw this is a painting that was painted in the 1500s, but the paint has still held up really well. It's not crazed, it's not cracked, it doesn't look yellowed. It's just, it looks like it got painted yesterday. And it was just so amazing to me. Um, I'm just an art lover in general too. If you ask me what my favorite color is, I would say my favorite color for what? Because my favorite color would change from day to day. So I get how it's a hard question. So, Juan, what's one thing that you want people who are viewing this art show to know about you as a person? Or or if not as you as a person, as you as an artist? I'm not sure which way you're comfortable answering.
I'm just a regular guy. I don't think there's much to say about myself. But if there's one thing I want people to take away, it's the strength that comes from having an entire community behind you. I've been blessed with incredible friends and mentors, people who wear their hearts on their sleeves and embody what it means to be family. ALS can leave you drained, and sometimes it feels like too much to carry alone. But I've learned that it's okay to lean on others for help. The strength I have today isn't just my own. It's built from the love and support of the people who have stood by me. That's what I hope others take from my journey, that none of us have to face this alone.
100%. And I would call you probably one of the least regular guys. One of the least regular guys out of the regular guys that I've known in my life. I'm not going to call you an irregular guy because that doesn't sound right, but you're definitely not just a regular guy. Um, did you answer the question? What would you want people who are viewing this art show to know about your artwork? Or did you bypass that one?
Art is one of the rarest things to explain. It can't be confined or neatly defined. I've never believed in telling people how they should feel when experiencing it. Instead, I want viewers to capture the moment, to engage with the emotions embedded within each piece. Some of my work carries my pain, while others radiate love. More than anything, I want my art to be felt, not just seen. I've been told by many that my artwork brings them happiness, and that means everything to me. To my followers and supporters, you've pushed me forward with your encouragement and emotions, and I couldn't have done this without you. At one point, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to share my work with the world. My digital artwork felt deeply personal, something I kept to myself. But my dear friend Elin encouraged me to put it out there, and I finally did. Now, months later, I never could have imagined the overwhelming response from the ALS community. Their support has been humbling, reminding me that art, like advocacy, can bring people together in ways beyond words. Thanks to advancements in technology and AI, pals are discovering new ways to regain aspects of their lives that ALS has taken from them. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to come from a family of artists on both sides, and I'm grateful to have found a way to reconnect with art, something I once thought I had lost. My wife has always told our daughter stories about my artwork, but since she is only 9, ALS is all she has ever known. When I had the chance to create a realistic 3D painting of a lake, I embedded our names into the tree and had a print made just for her. Seeing my wife and daughter's smiles when they received it was priceless. For me, the greatest reward in creating art is witnessing the joy it brings to my family, friends, and the broader ALS community. Thanks to their emotional support, I get to experience their happiness alongside them. Knowing that my work can uplift another pal's, offering even a moment of light, means everything to me.
think the next question that I have is, what is something you've learned from your ALS journey?
The biggest takeaway from my ALS journey? I'd need more time to fully reflect on that. But for now, I can say this. ALS teaches you patience in a way few other experiences can. For PALS, even the simplest tasks take an average of 6 times longer to complete, meaning everything must be approached with extra time and care. In a fast-paced world where most people expect instant results, we learn to slow down and embrace the process. But patience isn't the only lesson. ALS has also shown me the importance of kindness, love, compassion, and understanding. I've learned these lessons in the midst of profound darkness, yet they've become guiding lights along the way. Not everything in my journey has been bad. There has been growth, strength, and community. And now we must continue to encourage the next members of our community, ensuring that no one walks this path alone.
You and I feel exactly the same way about our journeys. I am learning patience as a caregiver, and in just having this conversation with you, understanding how much effort and how much time it takes for you to generate a response, whether you're typing in real time or even if you've typed it out in advance. And for me to just be patient and silent and just wait for you to get it out without trying to rush you has been a big learning experience for me. Because I've always been a person that just rattle. There can't necessarily be any quiet space. It has to be filled with speech. But I am learning that it's okay to just sit and wait because something good is coming. So my last question is, if there's a question I did not ask you, that if you were interviewing me, if you were doing this interview, what question would you ask me that I didn't ask you? Why would you put so much stress on your eyes to create artwork? The trick is I'm going to ask you to answer that question, right? Sorry, it's a trick question. No worries. That's why I made it simple. It would have to be for the love to create and do something that not just anyone can do. Plus, having ALS makes you want to leave part of you behind so you're not easily forgotten. That's part of the reason behind this art show and this Artistry of ALS gallery. But, it's not just about the art. It's about people getting to know you and your spirit. That's why I do the interview piece of this. I'm not just going to put your artwork out there. I want people to see you and to know you and to know your heart, which is, the only way you can do that is by having a conversation with someone like this. So I'm really grateful that you took the time and the effort to type all of this out so that people could get to know you better the way I know you from our interactions. And I hope you like what we've put together. Thanks for this.